Hello and welcome to Blueprint Radio, a guide to fitness, health, and wealth. We have a great show today, and the reason for the show is to correlate between nutrition, fitness, wealth, and all the concepts that really bring together. I don't think that there's a real correlation that people get, and we want to bring that and fill that gap for you. I'm Dr. Kjelson, by the way. This is my co-host, Tony Thomas.
Hello.
Karen Garcia.
Hello.
So ideally, like I was getting to, there's a lot of misleading information. And I feel that we are the guide, as mentioned, to that.
Yes.
And I would like to fill in that gap.
I definitely agree with what Scott said, Dr. Scott said. Applying fitness and incorporating that into your lifestyle, I see people living a more prosperous, more productive lifestyle. And when you live with more productivity, you actually, you can kind of have a better balance with your relationship and finances and things like that as well. What do you think, Karen?
I completely agree. I think being in the financial services industry, one thing I've noticed is that this trend of health and wellness is fantastic, but we're living longer. So one of the things we want to make sure is that we don't run out of money.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to address here, the correlation between health, fitness, and wealth.
Awesome. And we have some great guests today. We have very huge model, Matisha, the all-famous and very big name with DJ Irie or Irie. And we also have Pedro Valente from the Valente Jiu-Jitsu School, and really looking forward to it. So our first guest today is the model, Matisha.
Matisha!
Wow.
Hey!
Wow.
I want to start with you. I know that your name is everywhere, and so are
Is it?
the pictures, and everybody knows what's going on. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and tell us just what you're into right now.
Well, came to the States 5 years ago from Germany. I was born and raised in Germany. When you guys look at me, she doesn't look German. No, I'm I'm not. I'm Egyptian and Turkish. So I came here with like the American dream. I mean, I never really wanted to get into modeling. Always wanted to get more into acting, but so I specialized more into fitness because fitness always was my passion. I used to run track and all that good stuff. So I was like, hey, I gotta share my information. And when I saw that people are so positive about it, and just started establishing myself more.
How does it feel to just inspire others? Because I actually go to your Instagram pages and some of your YouTube videos, and the girls, when I show them, they immediately want to start, squatting and lunging, getting out, being more active. They want to look like you. How does it feel to just be that type of inspiration for people?
I mean, it's amazing to me because I really didn't think it has such a strong impact. But then now, with the social media, now I get so much response, and people are like, oh my God, you're such inspiration. Because of you, I lost 10 pounds, and I lost 15 pounds, and I'm really watching what I'm eating now, and got into fitness, and it's really amazing, and that makes me want to become even better and bring out a better message out there.
Well, it's funny because I specialize in the nutrition area.
Okay.
And so the same concept goes for me. People come to me and they say, how do you get your people to feel happier? How do you get the mood, increase? How do you get sleep cycle better? How important is nutrition in your field?
Nutrition is actually very important. It's almost a little bit more important than exercise because...
Don't tell Tony that.
I mean, exercise is important too, but if you eat all the wrong things, it's not going to work. So it goes both very hand in hand.
Right.
I do cheat too. I mean, I love chocolate.
You're human.
I literally have my cheat days too.
I mentioned something. You said the American dream, and 5 years ago. First of all, your English is obviously really fantastic. For 5 years,
I have a terrible accent, but
no, it's beautiful. And so you mentioned the American dream. What exactly is that American dream to you?
Well, the American dream for me was to live my dream, which was always to be a successful actress and writer. So that's what I came here with. And I figured I have to kind of like somehow network. So that's why I got into the modeling and I got into the fitness field of it.
Right.
And it's possible that in America, you can network so much and things go so much faster than in Europe. So it's amazing.
Last thing, what tip would you give to the young ladies of America coming up, trying to get to where you're at?
Well, definitely, just appreciate where you are, because as an immigrant, it's much harder because I have to deal with so much more. The ladies have to stick to what they want. They need to know what their goals are, clear goals, and be in it because you're passionate, not because you want to be famous or because of the money. So if you do what you love, if you're really passionate about what you do, you're going to achieve regardless. But you have to have the right intentions. Don't go for it for fame. Don't compromise who you are. That would be
Well
the
put.
simple.
Well
That's
put.
Well,
Well
I
put.
think a really big point to take out of that is you said goal orientation. It's important, like you do, is to act.
Right.
Not just set goals, not just have that dream, but to act. Act
Right.
on it and do as much as you can to get to a level and to continue to grow. I mean,
Exactly.
all of our guests today, I feel like, are in that same position. And I love what you're doing. I
Thank
love it. I love it.
you.
Yes.
You can't be a beautiful model at the beautiful level. Beautiful information.
I want to
Thank
add
you.
something though. It looks like you're on your own, but it seems like you've been able to build a brand. It's not
Right.
just you walking around saying you want to do this.
Right.
It's what Scott said. You've acted upon it. So it takes a little bit more than just beautiful looks and fitness.
Of course.
So is there a little tip you can give to someone on how you built your brand?
Well, I mean, if, like I said, first of all, you need to know who you are, and then the networking and social media is very, very important to brand yourself, and
Right.
always be consistent. Consistency is very important, because I do have times where I'm frustrated too, and I'm like, oh my God, this is not going anywhere. Should I get out of it? But then the consistency is what makes you really grow.
Got it. Got it. Great.
It
That's
is.
super helpful.
I,
And if,
I really do appreciate the fact of all this information. I mean, it's
Thank you.
This segment at the Lowe's Miami Beach was brought to you by Work Out Your Wealth, allowing people to live healthier and wealthier by providing fitness and financial services. Call today for your consultation.
And now,
What do we got next?
now we like to welcome the stand-up. We need to stand up,
all
ladies and
right,
gentlemen.
let's do it.
Mr. Irie, please join us. We really appreciate you being here. Let's give it up for
DJ Irie. Wow.
Well,
VIP.
we appreciate you joining us today. So much. So
Come on now.
So I know that you have the foundation coming up. I just want to jump into that really quickly because
Let's do it, yeah.
that's huge. You're doing so much for the community,
Thanks.
so much for students, the tuition, the bringing people opportunities that don't have them, and I think that's huge. I mean, that touches people's hearts.
Thanks, man.
You're doing so much, and really, I think we've all seen you go from being a great DJ to being a great role model overall.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the-
So.
Cool, that's cool. Can I call my mom and say that again?
Yeah, I got you. I do need our $5.
Mom, I told you that.
I charge $5. Okay.
Tell us a little bit more about this foundation and this big IRIA weekend we have coming up here.
Sure. Well, I started the Ivy Foundation in 2011, right? And for me, I felt I was extremely, well, first of all, I feel extremely fortunate just to do what I do, and I wouldn't be able to do what I do without the support from the community, you know? And I've had my own role models in my life, you know, guys like Alonzo Mourning, you know, who I learned so much from in terms of, in terms of not just, being a great person, but to really, service the community, and how important that is. And, when I started working with other organizations like, Make-A-Wish, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Teach for America, and actually being there in the community, being, face to face with other at-risk youth and understanding what the issues were that were facing them, I was like, I have to do more.
Yeah.
I have to do more.
Awesome.
Giving back.
Yeah, there's a lot that is being taken care of right in service, but there's a lot of areas that don't get the same amount of attention that are just important,
But what you're doing is you're actually talking about the steps that it takes for each one of these individuals to make it. I mean, I always talk about this, that people look at rich and they look at poor and they say, I'm either one of them.
Right.
And
right.
you could be either one. It's
Yeah.
up to you. It's your choice.
Absolutely.
And I think you're giving an extra opportunity. You're raising them.
That's exactly what it is. The first thing I realized was when you go into those inner cities, right, and you get to really, speak to these kids one-on-one. It's not a matter of, in the suburbs they're smart and down here they're not.
No.
Smart.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? It's a matter of access and opportunity.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
And you see that firsthand. The drive is there, right? The ambition is there. But when you can't have any access, right, to the tools and to different opportunities that other kids have, you're at a loss.
Right.
You're going to be at a loss, So, a big part of our work is just trying to, bridge that gap. You know what I mean?
And how exactly are you bridging that gap? I did a little reading and I saw that you bring, like the arts, for example, is
Yeah.
one way that you expose these kids, if you will, right?
Absolutely.
Are they kids?
Absolutely.
Do they go up to?
Yeah, kids. I mean, we focus more, mostly in the middle school, high school.
Fantastic. So you expose them to arts. How is it that you do that?
Well, we get creative,
Okay.
because as you guys know, When it comes to music and other point of arts, I mean, kids look up to rappers and singers.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Right.
And they want to be them. And my thing is, you know what? They should at least be able to explore.
Yeah.
Definitely. Be able to explore it. So we're doing a partnership with Motivational Edge, and we have in Alapata, it's literally the IE Foundation
Right.
Music Literacy Center, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And what we do, one of the programs that we do, is being able to have kids come in and learn how to produce music.
Yes,
Yeah,
right?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Learn how to write songs and be able to, write that song, sing it, and record it, right?
Yeah, they
Guess
can
what?
visualize it, right? They can see themselves actually in that position.
But guess what? They don't get to do that unless they
Correct.
reach
That's right.
a certain threshold in their academics. So guess what?
That's the important part.
Yeah, their conduct has to be a certain level. Their attendance has to be a certain level.
So you hold them
And
accountable?
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes,
So
yes.
it's a reward.
Fantastic.
It's a reward.
So we can pretty much see a lot of the youth now developing skills that is going to pretty much change the way music is actually transformed music, because everybody
Absolutely.
from that younger generation is going to be able to apply those skills early at an earlier age.
And their creativity.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And make it their own.
Well,
That's how music evolves.
That produces so much confidence too within, especially from an early development stage.
Yeah.
You don't have to say, well, I don't have that opportunity. Now it's up to you
Exactly.
and the parents as well. It
Right.
interacts with both.
If you're putting in that work and do what you're supposed to do, guess what? We want to make sure you have that opportunity to have that access.
And talk to us. I mean, I was talking to you, Karen, about the tuition aspect. We were talking about schools, preparation.
Yeah.
He's helping provide that.
I know.
Yeah.
So how is it that you're doing that? Are you creating some scholarship funds?
Yeah, so we actually do have an ongoing scholarship.
Fantastic.
Right? We have some great partners. Jimmy John's one of our biggest partners.
Subs.
Wow.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about it, right? And we partnered with Big Brothers Big Sisters,
Right.
in this particular endeavor. It's called the Impact Scholarship. Right?
Okay.
So when we say impact, here's one thing that is overlooked a lot, right? So you may have a youngster that is able to go to school, 5 days a week, right? Focus, work hard, leave school, come home to a wonderful environment, right? And they can come back home, do the homework, get whatever help they need, from their parents, whatever, and just chill. Everything's wonderful, right? But then you have other youngsters, right? They have to work just as hard in school, but guess what? When they're out of school, they got to go work
5 days a week too.
you know what I mean? Or they may have a family member that is sick and needs attention. You know what I mean?
That's right.
They may have siblings that they have to take care of because their parents can't take care of
right.
them. You know what I mean?
The opportunities.
Yet, exactly. Yet they're still doing the best that they can.
Well, I could tell you when I was in school, I heard a lot of people outside. They were like, "Well, school's not for me."
Yeah.
And I always think that you should express your mind.
Yeah.
You're giving both opportunities. So there's a big difference. People need to understand that. Math, you may not apply this to your job, but guess what? It's going to expand your mind. And you're giving that opportunity to expand mind, especially in the arts. I feel like that's such an
I think
important
it's
factor.
And it's an area where
so
it's
important.
missed, where a lot of
So
people
important.
miss.
It's
So
so
I'm glad you
it
told
really,
me.
it really helps, shape the youngsters to know that, hey, you know what? Anything's possible.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything's if something artistically is what they're excelling at, they can pursue it.
Fantastic.
You know
Why
what I
not,
mean?
right? Why not me?
They're real careers. I mean, look. I'm
Oh, of course.
Now-
you know what I mean?
Now, the networking opportunity, just by we'll go back to the IRE weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know that's coming up June.
June 18 through 20.
Next
Correct.
weekend.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah,
gonna
it's going down, right?
It's going down.
And ideally,
Yeah, it's the weekend today.
who are some of the guests you could just name off the top that and ideally too is the people involved in this are opening those networks to your guests, so it's like your friends.
It's great. The cool thing about it, I mean, not only do we have great partners on the corporate side, which without them you couldn't produce the event, but in terms of really increasing the scale and the reach of the event, it's the celebrities that will look at what we're doing, right, and look at myself and be like, that's cool. I'm down to be a part of it.
Nice.
Big.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
That's cool. Not only am I going to come and participate, but I'm going to help spread the word. You know what I mean? I'm not just participate by showing up and existing, but I'm going to get involved.
Right.
Like, you talk to crowds and walk with kings. I mean, you've always been humble and always just been able to relate to everybody. And the one thing that I got from you the most is your energy. Your energy is amazing. I mean, I was at the game, I had the best seats.
Listen,
and they turned on music. Let's go, Miami! I'm dancing. They got the motto.
I gotta say, 20 years ago, I was at a Miami Heat game. I was about 20, and I was like, "Who is this ball of fire out in the corner?" And that was you. And now look at you, right?
When I first met you, I felt like you knew me and I didn't know you, and I was like, what's going on? But that's your attitude, and I feel like you, people that around people, anybody around you has that attitude. They want to welcome people, and I think that's a huge thing for motivation for other people and aspirations. You inspire so many people, and I don't think you even realize it because it's just your personality. But I think that's really where it ties into everything we're doing. So
I want to add one more thing before I know we got to let you go, but your foundation.
Yes.
So if people want to give to your foundation, can they get a tax write-off, for example?
100%.
Okay,
100%.
fantastic.
And actually, so first of all, we encourage you to learn more about what we're doing.
Okay.
So you can go
Where
to,
can we find that?
IREFoundation.org.
Fantastic.
Right?
Okay.
You know, plenty of information. You can also, if you want to participate, you can participate in our programs. You can become a donor.
Fantastic.
You know what? Just connect with us.
Great.
Connect with us.
So IREFoundation.org.
Yes.
And
Learn everything.
we're looking forward to it. I hope to see you out there.
Hey, man.
Thank
And,
you.
yeah, you're amazing.
Yes,
Seriously.
man, let's do this.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, that segment with Iree was brought to you by Genobic. Ever wonder what to eat, how to be healthy, or even which diet will work for you? Ever wish you had more energy, had more strength, or greater ability to focus?
Yes.
All the crazy myths about diet, sugar-free and fat-free, and the lack of trusted information. It's time to take control, but it starts with eating the foods that are right for you. Contact Genobic, www.genobic.com.
Our next guest is Pedro Valente from the Valente Brother Jiu-Jitsu Academy. Pedro, come on in. And it's incredible just seeing how Jiu-Jitsu is just playing this big role in fitness, wellness, and even injury prevention with some of the athletes. Tell us a little bit about the Jiu-Jitsu Academy and where it started and how it became.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to be here in Miami. We've been here for 22 years now. Started as a small club at the University of Miami, and now we have a big facility and with a lot of students, not only headquarters in North Miami Beach, but we also have facilities in Fort Lauderdale, Pembroke Pines, Fort Lauderdale, even in Guatemala.
Wow. I saw that on your website, Guatemala City. I was
Guatemala City.
Amazing.
We have a great school over there, and we're empowering people by teaching them real self-defense, realistic self-defense that can help them survive a real encounter in the street. Somebody tries to attack them.
Yes.
Adults, children, women. The great thing about Jiu-Jitsu is that it's complete. It will teach you how to fight standing up, on the ground, grappling, striking, takedowns. It's a complete approach. And also, anyone can learn because it does not rely on physical strength. It's all about leverage and technique. So it really enables a small person to defend him or herself against a much bigger person.
Well, I know that we spoke a little bit, but please tell us about the 753 really quickly, but I want to know about this so all of our viewers and listeners can hear about it as well.
Well, Jiu-Jitsu comes from the samurai, the Japanese warrior, and they were bound by a philosophy, a way of life, a code. They call it the Bushido code. And in our society, in our modern society, a lot of the health and fitness, a lot of things out there, a lot of different points, great points, but we felt that these dots are not connected. You don't have a system by which to follow these points. So we decided to organize the 753 code as a way to explain the Jiu-Jitsu philosophy so that our students can learn it in an organized way. And just like the name of the show, so that it can be a blueprint for their life, a roadmap for their life. So wellness of the spirit, wellness of the body, and wellness of the mind. That's where the 753 code comes in. The 7 virtues of Bushido, which are moral virtues, moral elements for people to live with more rectitude, more honesty, be more courageous, more loyal to their friends. The 5 represents wellness of the body, physical wellness. So better nutrition, exercise, rest, also avoiding stress through a positive mental attitude, hygiene, and also the mind that's aware, that's always in the present moment, that's focused, the constant pursuit of knowledge, always learning through education, also being balanced emotionally. High stress times, people are always angry, traffic, family problems, work problems. So learning how to keep that even keel, which is so important in sports. And also flow, right? Making sure that all these virtues, all these elements, all these qualities become a part of you so you don't have to think about it. It flows naturally from your heart.
So it sounds like this holistic approach that you take to the body, the mind, the spirit, you can apply that to everyday life. So, for example, with your business, it's not just this philosophy that you teach and live, but you've built an incredible business around it. Have you been able to do that on your own, or do you have a good team? Who did you partner up to do this with?
That's a great question, because I'm fortunate to have two brothers.
Fantastic.
Who are also trained in Jiu-Jitsu from Grandmaster Hélio Gracie. He's our teacher. He was our mentor. He passed away at 95 years old, but he was a role model and inspiration for this, not just the fighting technique,
right,
because he was a national hero in Brazil, but also the holistic approach to life. He lived at 93, 94 years old. He was rolling on the mats, training Jiu-Jitsu.
Wow.
Full energy, amazing life story. So he was an inspiration for us. So my brothers, they were prepared just like me.
Okay.
So when I started teaching, they came to America. They also attended universities here in Miami.
Okay.
And they started helping me, and I partnered up with them. And now we have my two brothers and other black belts who have opened affiliate locations, and we have a great team and great people. So between myself, my brother Guy Valente, my brother Joaquim Valente, we spearhead the Valente Brothers movement.
Tell us about the, really quickly, about the business degree. I know there's a Master's of Business. How important was that for you with your business?
Very important, not just the knowledge that I acquired at the university level. I think that gives me a great advantage in being able to run my business and run a Jiu-Jitsu school, but also the great networking and how it opens your mind.
Right.
Education opens your mind. We're so much in favor of people getting an education because it can really expand your horizons and help you achieve your dreams. But the most important thing in our business is that we're not money-centric.
Yes.
Money is important, but that's a consequence of us being always student-centric. We're all about the success of our students. We're all about inspiring our students. We're all about what we do on the mat. And we love what we do. Nice. I love being on the mat. That's what I do. And so that's the secret to our business success.
Speaking on the sports and the aspect that you were telling us about earlier, how it's about being disciplined. And what's recurring now is a lot of athletes are getting injured. I remember you have something online that's pretty much fighting against injury prevention in actual sports, allowing people to fall correctly. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we train a lot, not only law enforcement, SWAT teams, not only here locally, but around the country.
Military.
Military, we worked with several Tier 1 special ops forces. We worked with the Army, we worked with the Navy, we worked with the Marines. So we have really worked with some very, very high-level military and law enforcement units. And on top of teaching them fighting skills, hand-to-hand combat, they can't afford to fall down and get injured. Imagine a special ops unit going into an operation and somebody slipping and tripping, because that's very common. The average person might never get in a fight in their lives, and hopefully they don't, but they will lose their balance and fall at some point. Maybe a slip in the bathroom, playing sports, whatever it is.
Right.
So we developed a system to help people minimize injury when they fall. And I think that could be amazing for professional athletes. If you look at the NBA, how many athletes get seriously injured with a simple fall?
Yeah.
Right.
We remember that case of Rondo from the Boston Celtics.
Yep.
Recently, Steph Curry had a scary moment,
broke his neck.
and we feel that with this program, players can, minimize their injury,
increase longevity of a career.
Yeah, and
absolutely
minimize the risk of injury. That's the most important
And
thing.
frankly, if you look at it from a business perspective as well, you're protecting that asset, which is the player's career.
You're becoming an investment.
Short and limited, exactly. So you've got to protect it.
Who doesn't want to add value to their life, right?
Exactly.
All the way around. Well, listen, we really do appreciate.
All right, and this segment with Pedro Valente of the Valente Brothers Jiu-Jitsu was brought to you by Mass Mutual Miami, where your financial health is our first priority. And next we're going to go to our takeaway section, starting with Dr. Scott.
Well, this is Doctor's Lowdown. So what we'll be speaking about really quickly is the foods and timing of food. So high carbohydrate foods, they have a substance called tryptophan. Now, I don't want to get too technical, but tryptophan actually crosses the blood-brain barrier in the brain, and it reduces, it increases serotonin and reduces REM sleep. Now, we're talking about binge, the American diet, your high carbs, your high your pastas, your breads, and so forth. Now, we all have that moment where we get up in the morning and we feel like, my bed is so comfortable, and I don't want to get up. And it's not because you have work and so forth, but a lot of times it's because you're not getting productive sleep. And I think that if we can increase productivity through our sleep, and increased metabolism, we're actually going to have a better day, less stress, and our mood will actually improve.
Awesome.
So quality of life, and that's why we all linked up, and I want to reach over to Tony.
All right. Now time for Tony's takeaway. Well, my takeaway for today is change. I want you to highlight change, because changing your routine in the weight room or exercise is going to allow you to avoid plateaus. We don't want a plateau. A plateau is when you don't see change in your body, you don't see change in your routine. We want you to always apply change, and it can be easy. It could be something as simple as lowering your recovery, or maybe extending your recovery for higher strength gains. But either way, change. Muscle confusion's away, and that's Tony's takeaway.
Nice.
Bring it over to Karen.
Mine's not as smooth. It's Karen's concept. How about that? Well, talking about Tony's change, before you can make any changes in your financial well-being, one of the things that I've taken away from this is you really have to assess your present position. So I challenge each and every one of us to go back home and just basically make a log of everything that comes into our household and goes out in terms of money. And you would be completely surprised as to what that actually means. Once you've established that present position, you're better suited to make changes moving forward. So that's my takeaway today.
Wow, we appreciate
that.
All right.
I definitely will apply.
All right. So, well, we want to thank our fantastic guests, the beautiful Matisha, who is off to Germany,
Amazing.
the talented DJ Irie,
Amazing.
and Mr. Pedro Valenti and his powerhouse Valenti Brothers Jiu-Jitsu.
And I want to make sure that everybody knows to follow us. We're going to be found at blueprintradioshow.com. You can find all of our contacts, our links, our sponsors, the giveaways, everything that's involved with the show. I want to give a huge thank you to our sponsors as well. AMP Squared, AMP Squared TV, Intuit Media Group, the Lowe's for this beautiful location,
gorgeous.
Genobic, Work Out Your Wealth, Mass Mutual Miami, and our favorite Matthew Zakowski, attorney at law. Well, everybody needs one of those, right? But definitely we appreciate everybody for following us, listening to us, and tuning in.
And please stay tuned and stick around for more fitness.
And by the way, his shirt will be off.
So you want to go around?
Just saying.
Hey, this is Tony's tip from the Blueprint Radio Show. Today we're going to be talking about planks. Planks that you can do in the gym, at home, while at work. All right, we're not just going to be doing any old plank. We're going to be doing different variations that you can practice and exercise to perfect. All right, the first one is your traditional half plank. We're going to get down into plank position. Elbows are firmly on the ground. Hands are flat. Abs are nice and tight and tucked. Back is flat, and we're holding. We're going to hold this for 20 to 30 seconds. That's what a natural traditional plank would look like. Then we're going to get into a full plank. This is actually allowing your serratus anterior to work now. You're keeping your abs tight. Try to get that belly button as close to the spine as possible. That's what you should be envisioning in your head. From here, we can go to a palms to elbow, working it up and down, engaging your obliques and your core. And then finally, we have our ballistic plank. Ballistic planks is a constant tension exercise, allowing you to be in isometric contraction while working those abdominals. So that's the Tony's tip of the day from Blueprint Radio. Hopefully it helped you get results today, guys.